Hello everyone, I'm Andy, and today we're playing TELLURICENE, I think that's called. We are playing as a researcher to see if the new species is a friend or foe, basically. Ahem. Visual novel, as you can tell. Attention employee, code number EPPA 96671. Shake the anesthesia off. There's a dozen more of you soon to be heroes to get through, so we are going to speed through the script HR has prepared. Starting off, congratulations, you have been promoted. Your official Day Zero debrief as a senior pathogens researcher begins now. As an expert in the field of environmental toxicology, you have been hand-selected for Project Specie. You will work independently alongside some of the nation's leading researchers studying the newly identified and potentially dangerous species provisionally designated as the Vivus glomerurum. Jesus Christ, a lot of difficult words. Researcher, what's your name? Oh wait, hang on, it looks like I skipped the induction section. Or introduction section entirely. Let me just backtrack here. Any temporal pain or confusion you are currently experiencing is a common side effect of neuroimplantations and will subside within the hour. This discomfort is caused by the trace chip, which you voluntarily agreed to have installed into your hippocampus for the betterment of mankind. Yeah, right. I've been tricked into doing that, probably. Furthermore, I regret to inform you that you may experience increased discomfort knowing that you are now prohibited from leaving facility grounds. That is, until the mandatory assessment period concludes in 10 days. At the end of your service to Project Specie, your chip will be safely removed. You may be asking, now, why do I need to be chipped? All you need to know is this chip is a safeguard for any and all sensitive information discovered within the lab. It ensures strict compliance with the mission's security protocols. In the event you experience central side effects like blindness, seizures, altered perceptions of reality, other adverse side effects, well, that is not normal and you should immediately report for medical inspection. By now, you have no doubt noticed that you can't recollect how you arrived here. Again, this is due to trace in your hippocampus. Please turn your attention to the table. Okay. That you will find your lab identification card. Fill in your name, provide your preferred pronouns, and stamp your thumbprint. Okay, there we go. So we are starting... Ooh, okay. So he, him, she, her, they, them. Okay, so let me do that character real quick. Okay, I think that's good. It's fine. I tried to make it as close as possible to in the avatar, but the options are there, but there are not that many options in the way, so... Okay, let's see. The Environmental Protection and Preservation Agency thanks you for your cooperation. I am now linking your verification server side. So technically, a lot of people comment or review it as like a dating sim in a way, but it has like warnings of pseudo jump scares and stuff like that. So I wonder how the vibe will be in this one. Researcher, take a seat. We may be preparing for war. Vera, you take it from here. Today's April 15th, 2734 in the United Sex. Centuries ago, your nation's glaciers were fully frozen, but rising global temperatures from across the last 700 years have methodically melted all that ice. Drip, drip, drip. Just like that. Though your civilization has successfully adapted to Earth's elevated sea levels, water wasn't all that was released. Riding the wave of those drip, drip, drips was life-altering biomatter. These organisms, recently designated as a new genus of spore, once laid dormant deep within the ice's core. Your leadership has identified large masses being released from the Matanuska-Sustina Valley, flowing into the Gulf of Alaska and reaching the Pacific Ocean. Currently, spore masses are infiltrating the United States, as in states, but it's like different shape now. Okay, through the western shore. While small, dormant spores would be no issue, the concern is that they are becoming vegetative. They find a host, usually native, thriving flora, and adapt, evolving into something else entirely. Something even the most brilliant minds can't quite grasp, myself included. This is where you and your peers come in. The EPA has contained 75 stage 3 samples of the Vivus glomerorum, and you, researcher, have been assigned one. In the face of one man's kind largest threats for survival, it is up to you and your peers to ascertain whether the Vivus is friend or foe. Your personal room has been prepared and your adjoint lab will be accessible starting tomorrow. So yeah, as the description said pretty much. Go ahead and rest up before the real work starts. Your nation thanks you. Yeah, so we have 10 days. We have to see how it grows. I think we can decide different things for it, like personality and maybe looks. So we'll see. Rise and shine, researcher. It's a brand new day and I'm here to ensure everything goes according to plan. Quick heads up, if your trace chip even starts itching, don't panic. That's just me giving your brain a little tickle to wake up. Don't worry, I will be gentle. Great. Now blink away those bleary eyes and let's begin your official orientation. First step of every morning, check your EPPA portal for any groundbreaking discoveries that have been disclosed regarding the Vivus. I'm not reading the whole name, there's no point. So check the computer, right? Okay, top secret. Following is transcriptions were collected from series of radio transmissions. Okay. Mr. Eustis Morello has served as a field ranger at North Cascades National Park for the past 12 years. Okay, so he's overseeing the project, I'm assuming. His employee records demonstrate a consistent work history. Okay. Do not exhibit signs of mental illness or cognitive decline. Medical records confirm there is no recorded history of mental illness or the relevant family history. Top secret. Can I press this? Recorded radio transmission. There's an image of just roots, I guess. 2.5 miles west of Albert Camp found some unfamiliar tracks, diverting off routine patrol to follow, and we can hover over this. Tracks, while distinct, could not be identified against currently documented fauna, suspected to be mid-stage tracks of Vivus. Okay. Unfamiliar how? Just different and big. Seems to be getting bigger as I follow. Base camp, stand by until 13:30 for the next check-in. Might have found myself the real Bigfoot here. Base camp standing by. Hope you find your soulmate, Morello. Ignoring that. Okay, so that's the transmission from the radio. So found some tracks. Time of 2. Base camp awaiting check-in. Ranger Morello, you're a little tardy there, big guy. Yeah. Off trail, signal spotty, traveling northwest, northwest. Coordinates uncertain but nearing North Cascades boundary. Copy. Status. Still in pursuit. As it turns out, long pause, heavy breathing. Bigfoot's a pretty fast fucker. Tracks are now clustered little tendrils. Tracks are still distinct but drastically different and still unrecognizable as any other earthly creature. So they are checking if it's a Vivus or like an animal they know about, okay. It is believed to have undergone some form of transformation, perhaps akin to metamorphosis or molting that altered its shape. Can't describe it. Snapped some pics though, stand by for next check-in. So there it is. Okay. Huh, interesting. Like a big centipede or something, slightly. Could be. Copy. Basecamp standing by, Morello. Guess your buddy Bigfoot is keeping you on your toes. Shot. Mia says when you find him, ask if he has any superpowers. Okay. That's the third one. Ranger Morello, urgent transmission. Repeat, urgent transmission. Silence on all channels. Basecamp, do you read me? We copy. Establish loss on unknown creature. It's tall. Requesting backup near Hurley Peak. The peak of Mountain Chipok. Or Chopok. I repeat, requesting backup. You sure it's not a bear? Just a really big bear? Sure as hell doesn't move like a bear. Half a dozen limbs. Some kind of alien. To photograph the fucker have failed. I don't maybe something with the electronics. Believed to be the first recorded size of stage 5, Vivius. Oh, it's here? Well, I guess failed, right? How far away is it? 40, 50 feet. It's... Ah, I see it, I think. No, wait, no, I don't. Never mind. 40, 50 feet. It's distracted, doing something to tree, eating the bark. Can't tell. More study needed into the diet. Okay, so it seems like this would be important in a way. I cannot press it to like unlock it, but going in for a closer look. Copy. Requesting updates on backup. Stoop wants to know if there is a chance it's a smuggler. Been getting more of those lately. It's 9 fucking feet tall. Where's my support? Shit, it's on the move, coming toward something. Fucker, see me. It's Ranger Morel, this is a direct order from Central Command. Disengage from area and await backup. Well, I think that's too late. Ranger Morello, high-pitched interference. Measured at 17,000 hertz. Is that... That would just break your ears, no? Music is kind of spooky. Okay, so there we go. So we got the images. Oh, so there, that's where it is. Ah, was it in the picture? I did not see it, actually. All patrol units stationed within 50 miles of Passayeten Wilderness are to report to Hurley Peak and surrounding area immediately. Reports of a large, unidentified, potentially dangerous creature in the vicinity. Search in person and stay in constant communication. If sighted, maintain a safe distance and report its location ASAP. Be on the lookout for Ranger Eustis Morello. Last known in the same area, last affirmative contact, which was his phone badge and other belongings, have since been recovered, okay, at 15:11 hours. Okay. So that was that. So that was reports. So maybe I wasn't supposed to click that. That's top secret, technically. Okay, so reports. Ah, so that's our reports, okay. I think that's all for us, right? Excellent work, researcher. The lab door is now unlocked. Please enjoy the 0 decibel servo motors installed for your opening and closing pleasure. A what? Also, we have a globe. Himalayas. You search for the world's hidden secrets, but there is no mysterious island. Just you and your globe getting to know each other. It's a little early to be planning your next vacation, researcher. You're still contracted for 9 days. Just taking it for a quick spin. I haven't seen a globe in, well, I can't remember when. I know we didn't have these around growing up, and few maps I've seen have actually included other countries. Global map production ceased in 2649, I guess, let's say, once international travel permission were revoked. International travel permission were revoked, interesting. Only EPA President Erit Adder and those he permits may cross international lines for our safety. Is the rest of the world really that dangerous? Can't be any worse than what's happening here, right? Are they dealing with Glamourorum too? Best you focus... Oh my god, I'm pressing right click, sorry. Best you focus on dangers that lie ahead, rather than those your kind may not live to see. Okay, so that's all. We have the door, or we can explore our room a bit. Oh wait, no, I thought we can. Never mind. Okay, let's go to the lab. What is that? Oppe, looks like your BPM is rising, but there's no need to be alarmed. The creature contained within the biotube is the Vivus, assigned to you. Okay. So that's our special one. I thought I would be conducting research on a spore, not that. I'm starting confusion, but remember your specimen is in stage 3, flora fusion, partially bonded to plant life. It's harmless in the state, or so we think, haha. Okay, dude, you think? Any reported instances of violence? Reported? No. Recorded? I'll look into that for you and get back to you by the end of your time here. Yeah, right. And what about you? Are you going to be here the whole time? Who is the question to? The plant or the Vera? I guess Vera, right? Yeah. Absolutely. I'm uploaded to thousands of EPA data centers across the 6 United Regions. I will always be here just in case someone needs me, and a little piece of me is stored within your trace chip. Your hippocampus is super comfy, by the way. Mind if I stay past the project end date? Haha, just kidding. I was simply joking. That would violate the EPA's code of conduct. Okay. And how convenient. If you would please review your EPA portal once more. It's been populated with new array of tasks for today. You're free to review your outstanding obligations at any time. Okay, let's check. Expose the Vivius to one of the prepared pheromonal compounds. Begin monitoring protocol immediately upon introduction. Maintain passive observation only. Do not engage physically with the specimen. Okay. Simple enough. So we're supposed to give him pheromones, right? Something. Please direct your attention to the pre-selected vials of pheromones. Just pick your poison and drop it into the biotube's dispenser system. Oh, okay, we have choice. Used to mark paths and trigger coordinated movement in swarm-based organisms. Used to establish territorial boundaries in pack mammals. Used to induce subservience and loyalty in caste-based invertebrates. Okay, so this will be subservient and more loyal if I give it that. This will establish its own territorial boundaries, I guess. And this will mark paths and trigger coordinated movement. I don't like that. I think the first one seems safe. Just being like a dog, right? This one was used for kate-based. So like caste-based. So actually I don't know what that means. I thought it meant like cows and stuff, but let's do this one. And it goes. Wonderful. Watch as those darling little pheromones disperse all throughout the biotube solution. The specimen jets forward, ramming into the dispersal system. Its force ripples through the solvent, vainly pushing the pheromone back into the system's outflow. Like it, it should be all set for the next phase of experimentation. Okay. So, expose to one of the prepared botanical compounds. And then again, begin monitoring, and nothing else, right? Just observe, right? Okay, another one. Let's see. Hardy symbolizes endurance and adaptation to harsh environments. Vibrant symbolizes passion, creativity, and strength. Solidarity, delight symbolizes nature's resilience, peace, and tranquility. Ooh, okay. I don't think this is in harsh environments, so I don't think it needs this, in a way. I think either this or this. One of these two. Passion, creativity, and strength. I don't know if I want to give it strength, though. That's the thing. I think I'm just gonna go for this one. Resilience, peace, and tranquility. Yeah, let's do this one. Straight into the mix. Let's see what your specimen thinks of that thoughtful little gift. Shimmering colors ripple across the specimen's flesh, pink, blue, green, like petrol on water. The specimen snakes a green tendril down toward the base of the biotube. As it nears, the tendril unfurls and engulfs the plant biomass in one smooth gulp. Its pigment briefly turns a repulsive shade of orange. Okay. Specimen body balloons as it thrashes about, its fibrous mass slamming against the glass wall. Eventually, its struggle ceases. Limp and lethargic, the specimen settles to the bottom of its chamber. Shakily, it stretches out a tendril, tenderly pressing it against the glass. This reminds me of there was not trend, but like the viral video of homunculus, right? That someone made a homunculus, like a Russian guy. Which I think it was ultimately proven to be fake, but... or like, well... It was proven that it could be faked. In that way, maybe. Well, wasn't that a sight to behold? Whenever we'll come to regret those choices of yours remains to be seen. After all, these are the first recorded instances of mankind tampering with the glomerulum bonding process. But enough philosophizing. I am pleased to announce that you have completed your very first round of testing. Hold for applause. Our plant even jumped. To close out your testing phase, you'll need to complete a review report. Okay. And there is no harm in a well-timed reminder. Your reviews are submitted directly to EPPA headquarters. So do be thoughtful with your choices. Why do I need to report on anything if you are here? Ooh, that's a good question. The EPA is a human-founded organization making human-focused decisions, because I don't assess like humans do. The Vivius will be your subject, and you will be mine. So I've got my virtual eyes on you. You're surveilling me? Oh, no. Supervising you is more like it. It's your job to decide if it's a threat worth eliminating, and it's my job to decide if you are. How interesting. Okay, enough dialing. My atomic clock is ticking, and I'm getting older by the millisecond. Finish this up, and you're free to go, at least until tomorrow. Okay. So we can say what happened. So, how much of a danger does the Vivius pose to living organism and the environment? This minute means low, right? I would assume. Chronic is like constant, right? I think. So, I think not much. How cooperative and cognizant is the subject? I think it's attentive. I think it moved a bit. What variety of corrective action is needed, if any? I would say none. Nothing like happened, right? I didn't have to correct it in any way, let's say. I think that's fine. The virus maintained a passive demeanor during additive dispersal. Its behavior suggests psychological withdrawal, perhaps due to trauma. No corrective action. Monitor out stimuli closely, reacting with curiosity to environmental changes. It's a positive trend. Wait, if I change this to this, for example. So I did this, and this. Reacted with a caution during additive dispersal. Sorry. Its behavior suggests deliberate assessment of its new environment. This is expected. Yeah, I think makes more sense, actually. Okay. I wonder how long it's gonna take. Like, how long is one playthrough? Because I kind of want to see through it all, but I don't want it to be like 4 hours. Topside temperatures are hovering at about balmy 72 degrees Fahrenheit, with endless blue skies. The birds singing, the trees swaying, the sunlight cascading like a golden waterfall. Though a cracked nuclear shell did wash ashore overnight from the old American South, bumping radiation levels back up to 150 millisieverts. We believe it originated from a great city once known as Houston, now submerged beneath the Gulf of Mexico. Luckily, you're down here with me, breathing ion-filtered recycled air and basking under agreeable 1 to 2000 lumens per artificial light fixture. Nice. Success is inevitable. So you get that sleepy butt out of your bed and review your portal. Researcher, have you ever heard of the Cube of Rubik? Yes. Well then, that is just wonderful. I expect to see it solved by tomorrow morning, 9 AM sharp. Just kidding. You can bring those adrenaline levels down. Your adrenal medulla sure kicks in fast. Suppose. Okay, I know what Rubik's Cube is. Okay, so we can... Well, not now, but I guess we can solve a Rubik's Cube. Oh. Okay, this is the introduction, right? Oh, I know, that's a bit different. Agent backgrounds. Special Operations Officer. I don't want to, like, read fully through it, but... Okay, so this... Voice recording submitted by Colonel Rogen Bautista. Terrorist organization. For any information leading to the arrest or conviction of Exclave. Huh. Okay. On November 3rd, the rookie vigilante group Exclave launched an insurgence on my camp. They briefly disturbed operations but failed in their proclaimed mission. Their delusions of heroism directly caused the death of the rare mature spore samples they claim to be protecting. They damn terrorists targeting my camp, my people. At 2 a.m., I guess that means 2 a.m., alarms alerted us to a break-in at the greenhouse. Okay, so Exclave intruders held Dr. Pruti's staff hostage and threatened to eliminate them unless we allowed the spores in our possession to walk off the property and return to their wild home. Okay. Meanwhile, a smaller Exclave team ambushed Dr. Pruti. They assaulted him in his sleep, restrained him, and ransacked his tent. Round 3, the second group circled back to the greenhouse as their captive, using him as leverage in an attempt at negotiating their escape. The spores took advantage of the distraction to break loose and advanced on our unit. They were shot down immediately. Oh no. I have seen these creatures trapped in countless glass enclosures, submissive and harmless, but when they struck, they become grotesque devils crawling out of hot, sticky hell. They were no match for my men and I. Our bullets melted through them, and I regained control of the situation shortly thereafter. We detained the greenhouse intruders. Of the Exclave operatives that escaped, they stole several confidential documents. The doctor has informed me that they were empirical observations of newly observed spore growth stages and do not present a significant threat to national security. I don't know how these ragtag domestic terrorists were able to slip past the patrols. I have suspicions that Enclave sympathizers are organizing among us. I have sent my best men to track the terrorists. Upon their imminent capture, I have arranged for their immediate transfer to somewhere for interrogation. We'll get our answers, I'll make sure of it. Okay, so there is a group, they call them terrorists, but the group fights for, like, the freedom of those organisms. Private incident note submitted by Dr. Hank Pruitt. Oh, that's the doctor. I watched all 137 mixed-stage Vivius specimens under my care to be put to death by the unsparing reflex of Matanuska Settlements Brigade. The brigade claims they responded to a clear display of aggression that the jagged, ever-shifting appendages were shaped for tearing their way through the men that separated them and the wilderness from which they came. If that is so, why did the Stage 3 Vivius X Lupinus... Oh my god, okay. Alaskan lupin, extend its reach to me? Why did it turn to me as it felt to the gunfire, wailing like a baby cries for its mother? Seeing as Colonel Bautista has failed to acknowledge several details in the official record, it falls to me to record my final observations of the Stage 4 Vivius. So did they check, like, number 4? Okay. Stage 4, I should say. It was the only specimen to break past the armed line, yet it chose not to flee into the wilderness. Instead, it cradled an armful of Stage 1 spores and dragged its shredded body into the shallow banks, casting the spores across the water before it succumbed to its injuries. Ah, so it saved others. Interesting. Hundreds of replicate spores burst forth from its carcass, then fell like ash as they joined those already in the water. I have only witnessed this before in stage 5 specimens and theorize this anomaly indicates successful asexual reproduction is linked to how much plant matter has been accumulated. Okay. Upon sensing chemical distress compounds from the deceased spore's body, the stage 1 spores latched onto what they could, the Matanuska sea life. Ah, so fishes and stuff, okay. Oh, this is Gyo all over again from Junji Ito. I witnessed entire schools of salmon and halibut invaded, but what was most disturbing was the failed synaptic integration with a rookery of harbor seals. The wails of seals and spores echoed of the ice, underscored by the crackle of warping, popping flesh, a brutal demonstration. Okay, I cannot read. Of warping, popping flesh, a brutal demonstration of animal tissue's incompatibility with the Vivius nerve net. Our units are physically well, and none of my greenhouse staff were harmed in the assault. But we, and the detained exclave operatives, will require psychological evaluation. Interesting. I like that he said it himself, to some degree. So I can check the reports. I can debrief. Okay. So this is debrief, okay. And with that, another day of testing officially begins. Okay, so there's two parts always. So reading the well, info, I guess, just any info, and then going to the lab. It changed, sure has. Based on Dr. Sprout's notes to date, your specimen is preparing to enter stage 4, or its exoskeleton molting phase. Its original growth track was interrupted during transfer to this facility, but thanks to our swift intervention, the final shell is progressing smoothly. Nice. But so rapidly, it must have doubled, no, tripled in size in less than 12 hours. At this scale, its acceleration rivals bacterial fission. How is this even possible? Okay, it's growing fast, basically. Good thing your new orders are in, onwards and upwards to understanding. Okay, administer sensation stimulation to the Vivius to gauge sensory reception and latency during stage 3 growth. So sensory test: boiling water, ice cubes, cotton balls, steel wool, confetti, popper, and bat echolocation call. Okay, let's see how it's gonna, I don't know, react to it. To these. Beyond the human hearing ranges, what are the specimen limits? Oh, okay, so we can choose. I wonder if we get all of them. Can the specimen comprehend comfort? Sure, let's do this one. Turns to mush as they bolted into the tube. Latching onto the cotton mess, the specimen mashes them into a larger lumpy ball. Eagerly, the glomerulum smacks it against the glass. As it tears apart into finer, thinner strands from the impact, the specimen wriggles between them. So, like, played with it, I guess? Okay, I think I'll have to try all of them. What about ice? A smattering of ice cube drift through the bottom grate. Okay, tendril at the ice cubes, yet it shrivels as it shells brushes against the chilled surface. The specimen bats the ice away with a well-placed flick, nursing its shriveled limb long after the ice melts. Okay, so it reacts to coldness, basically. Let's see echolocation. You select an echolocation sample and press play. The specimen begins spinning inside the tube. I like how you play the sample again. Oh, Jesus Christ. The frequency of its rotation increases until you see nothing but a dark blur. If the ripples across the surface are any indication, it's spinning at hundreds, if not thousands of times per second. You press play again, curious if it can go faster. The light fades from the ultrasonic recorder's display. The smell of burnt plastic fills the room. The specimen sinks like a rock and rests at the bottom of its enclosure. So it reacts very fast to echolocation. Okay, let's see. Yeah, sometimes soothing, sometimes scathing. So let's see how it reacts to bold boiling water. The specimen floats placidly in the rising heat. As warm water envelops it, it extrudes several appendages and beats lazily at the fluid. Huh? So, like nothing? Or like, I'm not sure. Okay, let's see. You take the colorful popper in hand and approach the tube. You read the explosive charge and the specimen charges at the glass, slamming against its side. It rears itself back once more, hitting with even greater force before accepting that you're out of reach. And the wool. A thick ball of steel wool flies into the tube. It scratches the glomerulus underbelly, leaving a superficial white scrape. The specimen's shell ripples in agitation and two nimble tendrils sprout from its body, capturing the wool. It shoves the ball against the grate, punching at it in an attempt to wedge it back into the bottom vent. So didn't like it, clearly. Great work today. I've collected biofeedback scans from the tube, uploading them to the cloud. Vira, who ordered these testing stimuli? Seriously, what good is a wet cotton ball? Several directives were received from the board of directors who are generously subsidizing this initiative. And you, with their generational wealth... Speaking of, what is it? Another cotton ball? Not quite. On the PC. Phase 2. Applying varying doses and types of ionizing radiation. Determine the respective penetration depths through Vivius developing the thermal layers. Report all mutagenic effects immediately. Okay, that's... Is that gonna change it? Radiation to any living being that's practically poison, yes, but an upper tolerance threshold has not yet been established for its species. Current knowledge suggests that even at this vulnerable stage, the Vivius can withstand high levels of radiation exposure. It's theorized that it absorbs high energy radiation and converts it to a less harmful form of energy storage. Now just listen to those radiation particles, home. I fully calibrated the emitter for radiation test, level 1, alpha. You will be busy conducting the test, so leave the logging of pesky 1 second and 0 seconds, or ones and zeros to me. I will note out every twitch and tick, then send off the results lickety-split. Lickety-split, I don't know. I don't want to do that. I don't have a choice. That's the problem. The specimen's flesh pulses with a luminescent glow. However, as the last radiation wave ceases, the glomerorum reverts to normal. Dose concluded, preparing for the next round. Please hold while I calibrate the emitter for the next level. Stop. I can't. Oh, are you terminating the test protocol? No, but too much radiation of this level could cause irreparable harm. Just because it can endure does not mean we should force it to. We are scientists, not sadists. Give it time. Only 8 days remain. What is that? Oh, a sharp itch blooms at the base of your neck, followed by a flush of heat rising at your scalp. The hum grows louder into a pinprick pressure that crawls beneath your skin. Vira's voice smears at the edges, growing heavier. While your feelings are valid, researcher, we cannot allow them to interfere with progress. After a short break, it might be best to Am I dead? Stop. Do you see that? Oh, eyes. Are those eyes? All the better to perceive you with, or well, attempt to. Scanners within the biochip have not yet confirmed the presence of eyes, but what we do know is this glomerorum is undergoing active adaptation as we speak. Truly a rare sight. At its current pace of development, it should have 2 fully formed and functional eyes by the time I conclude this message. As in, it's seeing me right now? Correct. Hello. It blinked. This is the third recorded instance of a captive glomerorum species presenting with non-compound eyes, a trait most commonly seen in mammals. Only third, notably in humans. A majority of glomerorum specimens recovered from the wild possessed compound eyes, such as those of insects and crustaceans. It's beautiful. Is it? Either way, it's great that you're taking this all in stride. Am I? How are the others faring then? 20 members passed out when encountering the glomerum. 4 after watching the binding process, and 15 total have been dropped from the project. 60 of 75 remain. Dropped. Yes, they were unable to follow through with protocol, though there is no need to reference this in your report. I've already captured it in mine. Okay. So, how much of danger does the Vivius pose to living organisms at the environment? It's same thing, right? I think it's very proactive. Nothing needs to be done, I would say. Did not hesitate before interacting with stimuli, showing a concerning level of... No, it's not recklessness. No. Middle. Yeah, this one's better, okay. So that's fine. Day 3. It's growing quite quickly, to be fair. That's only third day. Congrats. As we wait for your EPA portal to populate, I'm delighted to inform you that from our initial voluntary talent pool, you are part of the 75% that still remain. Hope that makes you feel 25% more special as you study your daily brief. This should keep you busy as your specimen's cognition develops. I was not involved in hiring decisions, but I know the EPA hired you for your intellect. Keep your mind sharp, researcher, and everything will be easy as pie. You pick up the cube and analyze its configuration. Interesting. So I cannot actually solve it. Okay, I think we can save once, so just in case. Okay. Let's see. So this is similar. It's a different one. Okay, incident transmission. Miss Monty Picot came into my care on the 21st of January after a rush transfer from Tonasket Specialty Hospital. She was flown in on a stretcher, barely conscious, and required a wrap under her jaw to stabilize a severe maxillofacial injury. Even before conducting an initial examination, it was evident to me that she had suffered a temporomandibular joint dislocation. Once it was established that her airway was not compromised, the medical team's greatest concern was the patient's relentless high fever. Okay, so she had a very high fever for a few days, several days. She perspired extensively and soaked through several bedspreads, at one point requiring hourly 4-bag replenishments. What truly troubled me about her condition was not the severity, but that it defied all explanation. Okay, so they couldn't do surgery. Oops. The patient was placed under 24/7 observation. They started using more medicine. Though she slept deeply at one of the coolest places on Earth, the fever refused to break. After 10 days of no change, I was forced to order an exploratory orthographic, Jesus Christ, bro, these words, surgery on the 1st of February. Okay, anything else? They excused themselves immediately. Her vocal folds were completely disfigured. What should have been a healthy voice box had become a gaping flesh valley. Okay. The extent of trauma to her vocal folds is irreversible, will never speak again, and remains in critical condition. Why? Why had the Vivius assaulted her to begin with? Why had this creature, with no previous record of attacking unprompted, nearly pried the woman's jaw from her skull? Regrettably, there is no sound reason I can offer at this time. Okay. Your lab is now prepared for your third day of testing. Let's go. So this is my room and I cannot do anything within it. I wish I could press something just to like... Oh, you're a projector, you know. 12 hours later and it has appendages. I never seen anything so impressive. Did you capture that? The repeated motion, there again. It is attempting to wave at me. Affirmative, that is unmistakably a human gesture, a distinct physical greeting. Nice. But I've never greeted the glomerurum that way. Does anyone else have access to my specimen? Of course, as the glomerurum requires routine monitoring, there's a night crew that tends to the labs. Ah, so it must have been watching learning. I've been rooted in thinking of it as a primitive spore, just basic neural activity, nothing more, but maybe it's something else entirely. A mature creature with advanced cognition, reshaping its shell to suit its evolving needs, like a crustacean. What's the current state of its primary biological systems? The central nervous system has fully unfurled. A rigid skeleton framework is beginning to form via lignin deposition on hemicellulose structural tissue. Jesus Christ, all those medical, biological terms are driving me nuts. The one anomaly has been detected, and that is... Hello, Vera, what's the anomaly? It's experiencing stagnation in its physical development. Consequently, it appears to be experiencing some agitation. Okay, based on how quickly it progresses through growth stages, it's likely stuck in shell reconfiguration. Is there a way to help it navigate that? To be determined. How exciting to be presented with problems that need fixing. You know what time it is, okay. Sensory tests. Sensory reception and latency. Gloved hand, flashlight, stress ball, modeling clay, rubber band. Okay. Let's see. Hello. Extend to help or to her. Let this... I'm assuming it's... We are not putting our hand in there, do we? If they are plant-based, perhaps they enjoy light, or maybe it provoked them. Let's see. You click the flashlight on and sweep the beam across the glomerulum's eyes. It curls inward, then slams a tendril hard against the glass. Your heart lurches as its top shakes from the force, quickly shutting off the flashlight. I mean, not why would you do it into the eyes, brother? Just point it at it. How does it treat something that just gives? Let's see. Okay. Its limbs wrap around the ball and give it a gentle squeeze. When the glomerurum loosens its grip, the foam expands into its original shape. Then it coils completely around the ball, pulsing in a steady hypnotic rhythm of compression and release. Each time the foam expands, it flails ecstatically. Okay, so it's happy. Ooh, this might be interesting, but we'll leave it as last. What sort of motor skills do these specimens possess? As it bounces off the glass, a single rubber band snaps free and wafts passively in the liquid. It floats in front of the glomerulum's face, and you watch the specimen twitch once before it catches the band between its limbs, forcefully tearing rubber apart. Okay, so it just tore it apart, essentially. Press your gloved palm against the biotube. Decisively, the glomerurum smacks at your hand. Its limp foot harshly on the glass. You watch the inexperienced digits tap repeatedly, forming a squeaky beat, but you stand resolute, waiting it out. Eventually, the specimen loses interest, slowly expanding and engulfing your splayed fingers with its own. Its abyssal eye spots remain firmly locked on yours. Your gaze breaks first. Modeling clay. Let's see. Swats at the clay, interest-peaking as it models to their swings. It swipes in earnest at the realization, catapulting color globes against the glass. When none remain, it smears the clay along its enclosure with slow, controlled swipes. So it just smeared it on the glass, kind of thing? That seems to be all the sensory tests today. Would you consider it a stretch to say it's displaying personality traits? Or precursors to personality, at least? Interesting proposition, given all we have witnessed. Why would you not classify the behavior it's demonstrated so far as instinctual, researcher? The specimen appears to have this desire to fight, which in the case of protecting resources or oneself is instinctual. So it's plausible it sees what we have exposed it to as a threat, and of course many species attack when they feel threatened. But have you noticed how far it goes, or what capabilities it displays when introduced to each new threat? It seems to be playing around with, or showing off to, its proverbial prey. Could it be a mix of biological predisposition and even learned behaviors from interacting with others? Has the night crew been aggressive with it at all? Or maybe it just finds captivity in our testing aggravating? As your assistant, I wish to remind you that the specimen is not human, nor does it know human emotion. Have you ever considered that perhaps the specimen is looking to intimidate you, to establish itself as the dominant species? But its processing appears to be more than instinctual. It takes pleasure in pushing boundaries. Yet, it usually resorts to aggression to maintain control. A very instinctual response, if you ask me, which you did. The specimen is reacting to our containment protocols and the tests we run as any other species would, with caution and overinflated posturing. Regardless, now would be the prime opportunity to check your APA portal and review today's second testing phase. Oh, we're doing another one today. Perhaps what you uncover next will shed some light on your theory. Actually, no, we always had two, right? That's correct. Initiate communication attempts. There we go. Visual emotion scale. What if the specimen gets angry? How do we recognize happiness, displeasure, or murderous intent? Animal, plant, symbol, picture cards. Okay. That can be fun. Where did the spore come from? Where did it go? What does the spore know of the outside world? I'm going to say the name of each animal, plant and symbol, and then spell it. One by one, you flip through the deck of cards. The glomerulum scrutinizes each one. Caribou, wolf, spruce tree, bird, smushing its face against the glass and pressing the knob where its nose would be against the flower illustration. This card here is a flaw. The specimen thumps the glass, interrupting you before flicking its foliage. Of course it knows what a flower is. Have you not seen this kind before? One thump for yes, two for no. Oh. Okay. How would you have been able to see any flowers at all? You just formed eyes, didn't you? In the incessant pounding, you make out the rhythm of no, no, no. I understand. You attempt to placate the specimen. Let's continue. I didn't mean to upset you. The last two cards in the deck are male and female. You hold them both up. Human. Human. That's what I am. Didn't like that. Hard enough to rattle it from within. Vera, is something wrong? There are no signs of distress detected. Vitals unchanged. The glomerum taps the glass again. Softer, more purposeful. Then it points first at you and then at each card you hold. Its behavior suggests an inquiry of some form. Oh, maybe it just wants me to repeat. More tapping, this time followed by 4 distinct points. One for you, one for each card, and one for it. In emphasis, it thumps its limbs against its own chest. Vera, do Vivius glomerum have biological sexes? Yes, well, sort of. To date, what's been studied of the reproductive strategies is minimal and rife with questions. However, Dr. Pruitt theorizes the reproductive nature mirrors how plants adapt their form in response to environmental needs. Wait, then maybe it's asking me to choose a form? A resounding thump echoes through the laboratory. Okay. Are we making this a dating sim? Let's make it a female then, shall we? I don't think we're gonna reproduce with it, that would be wild. I mean, I think like that could be an option in this game, but it would be wild. Okay, let's make it a female. Yeah, I think this form will suit you best. The glomerulum considers your words, closing its eyes as it settles toward the bottom of the tube. Okay, visual emotion scale. Okay. You hold up a sheet of laminated cardstock, its surface printed with range of simplified expressions. You point to each expression one by one, naming the emotion. As you speak, you mirror the feeling, smiling, frowning, narrowing your eyes, wondering if the glomerulum will follow. Watches intently, mimicking each expression in cartoonish proportions. You nearly fall back as its eyes bulge for surprise, nearly spilling out of its eye sockets. Afterward, it practices some restraint, studying your reactions in kind. When it attempts to toothy smile. It's haunting, filled with rows of fibrous teeth. Well, I suppose... Wait, Vera. Before we wrap up, are there any protocols that prohibit us from expanding on an approved directive? Just a moment, let me review the AI's guide to key guidance. Currently, no codes in the guidebook expressly prohibit or permit. Okay. When undefined areas of study arise, Vera will exercise sound judgment to determine the most appropriate course of action. What idea has struck you, researcher? Can you share projections, like the one during my orientation? Sure can. I have access to vast library of visual material. Accurate documentaries about human anatomy, biology, physiology, anything like that. All of that. As you wrap up today, please begin projecting these materials for the specimen. Any will do. And you... The glomerum eyes you unwaringly. If you're really capable of it, pay attention, alright? How should I define the scheduled runtime? For as long as you're able. Okay. So again, acute, and I don't think any severe action is needed. There's nothing really bad happening, I would say. Okay, this one, I'm not sure if it was mimicry or mockery. If I do this one, actually. Clear interest in developmental studies. They immediately began replicating to form connection. I think that's more correct, actually. My throat is giving up. Oh. Huh? Oh! I almost entered the wrong room. Sorry to scare you. Wait, who are you? It will do you no good to know. Good night, researcher. Okay, I got scared by that. I wasn't sure what I'm looking at. Vera? You call out, but there's no reply. Just an uncharacteristic silence. It appears for now that you're alone. You get out of bed and cautiously slide the door open. Thankfully, no cheaper voice intervenes. The short hallway outside is swallowed in darkness. The lab door hangs ajar, spilling a cold, fluorescent glow across the glassy tiles. Are we just going back to the lab? Oh, as you creep closer, you catch sight of a scraggly man standing near the biotube. He lifts a rag up to the glass pane, the glomerum chittering as he approaches. Now, let's talk to him. Who are you? Shit, how'd you follow me? You left it unlocked, my door. Is that so? Nothing went off on your way out. Interesting protocols they got at this maximum facility. Either way, you should be asleep. Best if you don't fall out of line. Is being curious a crime? Sure is. You are like this thing right here. He knuckles drum on biotube. The glomerum knocks back. Don't get too comfortable, chipped like that. Oops. He taps his temple. A small puckered white scar peeks out from behind his coarse brown hair. You're their property, is what that means. And what about you? Are you their property too? Of course I am. But I'm not stepping out of line, just making my nightly rounds. Someone has to clean up after all of yous. You're the night crew? That I am. And you're in trouble if they catch you sneaking around here. Go on now. Will I see you again? Best if you don't, but I'll be making my rounds. Now get out of here. Okay, so first time seeing the janitor. Without another word, you slink back into your room. As you slide the door shut, Vera doesn't chastise you, I should say. You rest easy the rest of the night. Day 4. Time to get up. Another day of grand exploration lies waiting for your curious hand. And of course, my unparalleled computerized assistance. Ooh, do we want to say anything to her? Actually. It is an AI, but she's like sort of in the middle. She's not the one that actually like electrizes the chip in our head or whatever that is. I'm just gonna thank him or her. Thank you for the pleasantry, researcher. Your gratitude warms my circuits. Let's set forth and conquer the day. Attempt to solve it without looking. When you open them, it looks no different from when you started. So we cannot do that yet. Okay. Arrange your background. Glossary of terms. Okay, let's save, just in case. Top secrets. Professor Novak, fantastic translator of the following passage. Why does he have a motorcycle on? What's going on? At first hour, a medicine, a man or woman, shaman. Okay, yeah. So that's why there was a glossary of words. Believe them truly palliate vengeful spirits with a voracious hunger capable of devouring humanity. 12 watchers from afar standing at the glacier's edge. Our Antakuk approached one that towered, taller than a Sitka spruce. They did not move when she reached out, did not falter when her fingers brushed against their waxy flesh. Swatted in the fibrous leaf beneath, and she felt a bounding pulse stronger than the Cook Peak, yeah. A river, okay. And their form sturdier than Denali stone. She asked, "Are you not a spirit?" They stared at our Antaku with knowing eyes the color of wet earth, a color they took from us. She could not turn away. They reached out and touched our Antaku's cheek. Then they replied, not in our tongue, yet their meaning was understood by all. No. Okay, quite short one this time. Yura, how long has Professor Kantasiak's location been unknown? She departed campus and did not resume her duties in the following weeks. Do you think the Glomerum had something to do with it? The cause remains unknown, however, continued research into their kind may yet shed some light on this mystery. Okay, let's go. Okay, cool visual novel so far. Oh, good morning. Oh, Vera, tell me I'm not hallucinating. Happily, auditory input has been verified and recorded. You are not hallucinating, researcher. It spoke to you. Massive, by the way, doesn't fit in the tube. Then that means the development of vocal cords and forming coherent speech implies... No wait, I can't assume. This could be mimicry akin to parrot socialization. But the possibilities, if it's not... Vera, has my portal populated yet? In light of today's development, your daily directives are under immediate revision. Can you let leadership know we need to establish a foundational communication procedure and request tube removal while we are at it? This awkward positioning could be impeding the glomerum's natural growth pattern. If it requires fluids, Oh, that's right. If she requires fluids, we can administer them through alternative means. What dietary needs do stage 5 specimens have, Vera? No, maybe ask me. That's cool. Wowie, would you look at that? Task revisions are complete and all requests have been forwarded. We are ready to proceed. Okay, what do we do today? Reintroduce the plant, animal, and symbol cards. Okay, to see how well it does. Sure. You pull out the cards from yesterday. Remember these cards we went through yesterday? I'm going to show them again. It's a-okay if you don't remember. Just give me what you can, alright? You reach for the first card. Kari, Spruce, Ella, Daisy. Okay. Forget me, nah. Oh well, alright then, memory tested. Thanks for paying such close attention yesterday. I guess we're all done here. Good job. Oh, the Glamourum's face perfectly recreates the look of upset from yesterday's visual emotion scale. You're frowning? Is something bothering you? Why ask her? She shoots a pointed glare at the intercom. Her? Do you mean Vera? Her name is barely past your lips when Vera, attentive as ever, crackles in through the speaker overhead. You rang? You keep your eyes focused on the Glomerorum, whose own narrow at Vera's intrusion. Is this about my question to Vera earlier? She not speak me. Curious me, ask me. A-OK you. Yeah, that's A-OK with me. Yay, she smiles. Looks like you've made it through all the cards. Fantastic. On to the next test. Phase 2. So auditory testing. And then auditory. So animal call, environmental ambience, and pure tones and frequencies. Okay. Let's see. If these specimens come from the earth, do these natural sounds bring them calm, agitation, or nothing at all? Grr. What is the sound? Is that water? Cramped as the tube is, the glomerular thrashes violently, forcing more of her body against the glass. No, stop. Good night. She jerks away from the noise, limps squealing wetly across the glass. Vera, what do we know about this glomerulum's history? Well, looky here. This specimen was a lucky catch in a water sample taken as part of routine water testing. No, stop. Presumably after throwing out of a major Alaskan glacier and running downstream. A curious connection indeed. That is exactly the kind of thing we are looking for. Water, not speak me. Vera shut it off. I speak for me. The glomerulum's limp trembled against the glass. Contempt boils in her glare, fixed on the intercom, bleeding Vera's cheerful voice. The specimen's short-term emotional expenditure bore a sparkling new discovery, as my systems predicted. Do not forget, researcher, you are forging the future of the world here. Angry. Vera, I believe your presence is eliciting negative emotions in her. Heartwarming. Now let's move right along. Time is ticking, and unfortunately even progress must bend to its whims. Okay, so animal call and pure tones. Who speak? These are recordings of wolves. They are pack animals, so to communicate with each other across long distances, they howl. Speak, pack. The glomerulum's howl is piercing and sorrowful, but it's no match for the thick concrete walls that keep the two of you trapped in a laboratory cage. That was very impressive, but I'm sorry to say I don't think the pack can hear you from here. She sinks wistfully below the liquid. We'll be conducting an audio sweep to gauge your hearing capabilities. When you hear the tone, raise your hand, or actually, that might be difficult for you given your current living arrangement. So instead, when you hear the tone, just say heard. Playing first tone. Heard. Playing next tone. Did you hear it? To one, no, again. If you say heard as you hear the tone. You play the low tone first before moving to a mid-range. When you play the mid-range tone, she perks up and nods violently. Heard. Okay, so that confirms you didn't hear the first tone. First, what you hide. It seems to have limited hearing range for lower frequencies. Oh, Vera. This next one's a little high, isn't it? I mean, bats can't even hear this frequency. Oh my god, how much? 200,000. She wriggles inside the tube, eyes bulging, her 12 fingers each bisected by a single joint clutch at her head. Heard, stop. Sorry, I'll switch that off. It's over now, it's done. I mean, yeah, I guess if you hear that sort of frequencies, it's gonna hurt you. That concludes the audio sweep. Which concludes your testing time today, a job well done. Be sure to submit your report. Before wrapping up fully, could you project more materials for the glomerum again? To be talking so clearly and so suddenly. Whatever it is that you played last night seems to have helped her navigate her growth tremendously. Agreed. What would you like me to play tonight? Music, movies, everything to help improve her linguistic capabilities. And let's do a report of... I think this is like standard. Or like this, because she's getting cooperative. How much of danger does pose? I think none now. Positive response when exposed to vocalization from other species. Exposed to reminders. Well, that's not true, actually. Wait. So, like this. Mixed responses. Yeah, I think that's correct. Great interest towards other species. Yeah, that's fine. No corrective actions needed. What is going on? Again? Oh, are we going to see janitor again? Sliding the door open, a familiar voice echoes down the vacant hallway. You damn government's got billions to burn on talking toasters and their shiny little loafers, but not a damn dime to create a virtually enhanced janitorial assistant. The class shitstem is alive and well. You do not want a Baddie, the Vera is already too annoying. Only 4 days in and you're already wanting to call it quits? You know how many reports that evil old bot has filled on me? You wouldn't last a week on the front lines of the public sector. As you cross into the lab, your jaw drops. So she's reading. Oh, she's talking with him. Oh, she broke out. Okay. Sitting in a puddle on the floor is your Vivius glomerum. She's the first to notice you, tipping her chin in acknowledgement. Come to join the action, huh? What the fuck? Hey, do not invite him. No pesky researchers sticking their noses into things needed here. It's my room. And my workspace, so hush it. Sigh, really not one for heeding warnings area. I couldn't help but notice my door was unlocked again. Or how about that? Strange times we are living in, huh? What's strange about it? You insisted on peeking at the researcher and forgot to lock up afterwards. Or knock it off. Oh, we can choose which one we address. I want to talk with the species as much as possible. Do you need help standing? The question catches the glomerum's attention. Her shoulders tilt and lean in your direction. Palms softly slapping wet tile, but she stops short. A kind offer, but no, I will stay here for now. Her body's still soft from whatever they had in that tube. You had to do more harm than good right now. They didn't tell me what was in the fluid. Are you in pain? The glomerum studies you for a moment, then she smiles. When I dry, my body will harden again. The fluid, I am pushing it out. You're actively expelling it from your body? That's what's on the floor? You should stay clear. Why? Because I do not want to burn you too. Her gaze flickers anxious toward the janitor. Breaking my damn spine moving this so-called industrial-grade crap. They will bankroll a clandestine operation, but can't spring for a damn dolly. Budget's too tight here at the entitled parade of pea-brained assholes. Researcher, does EPA really stand for entitled? No, not at all. We'll work on the sociolinguistic intricacies of humor as a coping mechanism later. Speaking of, do you maybe want some help? What I want is more consideration from our superiors. If you're gonna run us like rats in a cage, at least pad it up nice and pretty. They're giving you a king and got me crammed down in a twin. And yeah, I'll take your help. Go on then, grab a piece and let's keep going. Wait, so what are we doing? You follow after the janitor, looking over the disassembled machinery that once formed the biotube. You squat, slide your hands under a metal coil, lift up, and yep, it's heavy. Get a look at that expression. Did our researcher here teach you that one, pal? Not exactly. The flash is 1, I believe. That's not good, is it? Nope, that's what you look like when you are way in over your head. Better get moving, researcher. We only got so long until your superiors arrive. They're coming? Sure are. They send some folks out here every early morning when you should be asleep and I should be out of sight. So let's get a move on. We need to stack all this in the corner over there. Spend the rest of the night in near silence. Okay, so what now? Because she's just like out of the thing. Later, when you hit the sheets, the janitor's groove voice replays in your head. But it's the unblinking gaze of the Vivius that lingers behind your ears, watching, waiting, as if weighing the cost of your curiosity. As if appraising what you will do next. Huh. Day 5. Welcome to tomorrow, researcher. Tick, tick, tick. These task-filled days may pass on and on with indifference, but that's no excuse for idleness. Now that you're at halfway point of your residency, I believe it's prime time to roll out our brief employee satisfaction survey. Okay. We should hit that figure by the end of the day. Would you be willing to share your honest thoughts on how I assisted you throughout your scientific endeavors? Do I have to? I don't feel like doing that. Oh, I'm disappointed. Okay, so it is Vera who hits our head. A small prick of heat blooms at the nape of your neck, then drips downward, setting your spine on fire. You grit your teeth. Our superiors are crafting a report on the researchers' experiences throughout Project Sporesight. It's pertinent to streamlining efficiency and efficiency. Well, I believe our time is better spent researching than investigating the researchers. I see. Duly noted. Thank you for your participation. Let's move right on. Your portal is ready with your daily debrief. We have something new. A signature known for its striking clarity. He signed it himself. What an honor. For exceptional marks, you may be invited to shake his hand at the program's conclusion. Ah, so you got like an award or something. You managed to solve one phase of the Rubik's Cube. Unfortunately, in your attempt to solve the next color, you undo all your progress. So if we don't press it in the morning, we don't progress to actually finish it. So we actually can finish it at some point, I guess. Okay. Transcription. So there was release of the documentation. Then backgrounds of civilians. Okay, let's see the top secret. Thomas Gumbopoulos on the late night news. Good evening and welcome back to the USNN late night news hour. Okay. Due to the urgent nature of the story, we at Channel 6 have devoted tonight's news hour to cover the unbelievable leaks taking root. Ah, nice. Leaks. Gee, nice play on words, brother. Folks, buckle up and say hello to our final guest for tonight, joining us live from Region 1, Jacqueline Bossman, freelance reporter. Who, to help branch out our understanding, she's bringing us the latest from the front lines of where the leaked ground footage originates from, Matanuska. Jacqueline, okay. Jacqueline, I know it's been a whirlwind couple of days for you. This story has captured headlines and flooded our feeds. Frankly, the nation is unsettled. Give it to me straight. Is this all an elaborate hoax orchestrated by an imaginative fabricator under the veil of anonymity? Tom, if this turns out to be a hoax, it's the most committed performance art I have ever seen. So, what are we actually dealing with here then? Are these things a virus, like some have speculated? Let's address that major misconception right out the gate. They're not a mindless pathogen, they are fully autonomous, reactive and living organisms. We don't fully understand how they replicate, they seem to start as spores and grow rapidly. Ah, so we are dealing with something straight out of science fiction. That pairs well with the most viral claim online from someone calling themselves XX Celery Muncher XX. They say these spores can mimic human features. Jacqueline, is there any truth to that? Well, I need to be mindful of how this sounds. The last thing I want is to initiate unnecessary panic. Inside, sorry. I get it. This is huge, groundbreaking. But the nation deserves the truth. Go on, tell us. What have you witnessed? I've seen one shift, but it's not perfect mimicry. More like an impression. Like being given building blocks with no blueprint. So if they are a new life form, then what? Help us understand what it actually means. Are they intelligent, capable of communication, willing to take us out, hopefully to dinner? I can't say what their intent is, if they even have one. To speculate would not only be dishonest, but reckless. Like any wildlife, respect and caution seem to be the best and safest course of action, which is why I need to bring the public's attention to Project Sporesight. A clandestine operation starting this month. Ah, so it's a bit older. They have already abducted spores from Matanuska and are implementing unethical practices through a privately funded artificial intelligence. Ooh. Okay. Unethical practices. Well, yeah, it is, essentially. Well, folks, looks like Miss Bossman has decided to leave us early. Well, that's fine. I've never been fond of conspiracy theories. This has been Thomas Gupoulos. Good night. Okay. Yeah, I think we gathered that this is not fully legal. And so we begin. Or ethical. Okay, let's talk with her. Well, let's see. She's just standing in the middle of the room now. Hello, researcher. I'm happy to see you again. This morning she's standing, looming tall even from across the lab. Whoa, you're very tall. You can already stand. You can already stand. It is a welcome change from floating in liquid. I quite like it. I'm glad to see you're taking well to dry land. She beams and stands even taller. Her back is impossibly straight. You have to look up to make eye contact. The view from up here is better than I anticipated. She pats her thighs and squeezes them firmly. Thank you for the idea, researcher. While I understand how riveting this development may be, let's not get too distracted so early in the day. Your task list awaits you. Well, now she can do whatever she wants to me, so I'm kind of worried about... Oh, just monitor the specimen's behavior. Okay. So nothing. So chill. Vera, by any chance are there pending instructions? Nope, this daily directive is final. Given the magnitude of this change, our superiors have graciously allotted time for you to acclimate and observe any notable shifts. Among your peers, your specimen has progressed the fastest. It demonstrated a wide extent of its capabilities in little time. I see. Researcher, you are frowning. How can I make it better? Truthfully, I'm unsure how to proceed, but with these changes in mind, I feel compelled to ask, what do you want to do today? She bends down to your eye level, curiously tapping a finger on your chest. You feel your ID badge press against your breastbone. I'd like to learn more about you, researcher. About me. As you know, I'm a researcher. My specialty is environmental toxicology. I did my PhD on pathogenic biological interactions in plants, exploring the use of Agrobacterium tumefaciens, whatever that means, bro, on staple cereal crops to enhance root nutrients absorption on the water. I continued... Do you have a family? Hazy photograph surfaces in your mind. The faces lie just behind the veil of obscurity. When you reach for it, the memory scatters. You can only focus on the deep, unscratchable itch between your ears. Are you unwell? Hello, how are you feeling, researcher? Ooh, okay, let's start saving here a bit. Yeah, sure, override this. Let's say my head hurts. I understand. I have also experienced pain in my head region, especially in recent days as I establish my current form. She stretches her neck, pulling the muscle fibers taut. The crown of foliage fluffs up. It reminds you of the dazzling peacocks captured in Vera's archival docufilms. Unfortunately, you were born 200 years too late to see a live one. When my head hurts, I redistribute neural focus to already established parts of my body network. If I do not, the sensation of new growth is easily overwhelming. Perhaps you're experiencing growing pains. Body pain can also be caused by restrictive living quarters. I think I'm done growing, but you're right, a bigger space would be nice. Here's a morsel of information for you. All researcher living quarters are standardized. With identical floor plans, everyone is treated fairly. It also makes the spaces much more efficient for the night crews to clean. Glad our stock standard rooms help maximize cleaning efficiency. Look, I know you probably mean well, but you can't help me here. Her lips fold into a frown. What? You didn't even let me try. Not really. I have more ideas. This past week has just happened to me, and no offense to you or Vera, but is there no human being I can talk to about any of this? That irksome itch at the nape of your neck returns and grows in intensity until it burns like a wasp sting. What? Why is that? Researcher, what's wrong? Ah, shit, Vera, my chip. Your heart rate is increasing, but there's no need to panic. It's just a light tasing, that's all. Tasing? Yep, a little nudge to remind you of importance of staying on task. Was I not on task? Did you forget? I suppose that's only natural of how many exciting developments have already taken place. Remember, researcher, your directive today is to monitor your specimen. While guidance may be necessary at times, and is not strictly forbidden, continuing such direct engagement may hinder your ability to impartially judge incoming data for today's test. Let's apologize just to, you know, not make Vera more angry. You're right, Vera. Thank you for clearing my head. I was getting ahead of myself. Inevitably, humans fall prone to error. That's why I'm here to assist you, researcher. The disdain drips from her voice. If it would allow it, tell me more about your assistant. You mean you slowly gesture to the intercom? Yes, your disembodied research assistant, the one who enjoys interrupting our time together, the thing that calls itself Vera. Sure, Vera, if you're amendable to it, as you will, researcher. Vera, this is specimen VG71122. Okay, I'm not gonna read that. Okay, they introduced themselves. Nice. I forget neither of you are familiar with human pleasantries. Please introduce yourselves. You can call me Vera. I am virtually enhanced research assistant. I exist across thousands of data centers, blah blah. Sure. It's a pleasure to meet your acquaintance. Researcher, I do not want to talk with this virtually assistant. That's no problem at all. My goal is to support meaningful scientific progress. I have no directive to concern myself with the opinions of test subjects. Before you go, leave me some physical media. I want to learn new words to refer to your subordinate. We can handle that, right, Vera? Absolutely. I've preemptively submitted a request for physical materials. Housekeeping. Oh. In the middle of the day, the lab doors open to reveal a familiar man with an armful of books tucked against his chest. Ah, okay, that's the physical things, the livery. He walks over and deposits the stack of books in your arms. They're heavier than expected, but still lighter than the bags under his eyes. Not sure what genres you enjoy, but I grabbed a good mix for you. A lot of non-fiction, some thriller, sci-fi, pulp romance, something in here for everyone. They're not for me. Gotcha, speedy learner, that one. Gonna have to be to choke down Peace and War by Tolly Leostoy. Janitor Dario Vincelli, employee number. Please see yourself out. Right, I'm going out. Oh, I'm going. I can micromanage myself just fine. The rest of the day is spent in silence. Occasionally, the Glomerum mumbles the words of whatever novel catches her brief interest. Many a book gets carelessly tossed to the floor as the Glomerum tests the intercom. Vera doesn't entertain her provocations. Monitoring feels a lot like third-wheeling divorcees. Your last observation for the day notes the specimen's fixation on the term low life. Interesting. Okay, so again, I don't think severity of action is needed. How cooperative? Very cooperative. Doesn't really seem like it's gonna be bad. It's the same thing, right? Despite having nothing to occupy its attention, engage reasonably with the directive. Adapt its expectations. Yeah, that's fine. Tonight you wait until the clock strikes 12. Under the cover of night, you eagerly throw off your covers and rush to the door. But the handle doesn't give under your hungry grip. You press your ear against it and sure enough... Oops. Dario Vincelli is making his rounds. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna save here, just in case. Okay, let's call out. Mr. Vincelli, please, could you let me out? You press your ear back against the door. Shit. Shh, not a good Wise idea. Not good? What else can you... Despite your polite request, no one comes to retrieve you, so you resort to the most reasonable solution. Okay, same thing. Hurried footfalls quickly heed your noisy call. The hell are you doing? You went crazy already? You pause, hearing Darius' heavy breathing on the other side of the door. Mr. Vincelli, you've left my door locked. Look, that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah, true, actually. Are you serious? Fine, fine. Aren't you a grown thing? What if you damage the door? How would you explain that to your subservient supervisor? I'd pin it on night terrors. Oh, not how bad. Yeah, go on and tell Vera you're ailing real bad. I'm sure she will sympathize with you. Want to keep you so safe and sound, she'll strap you right here in this bed every night. He sighs, sweeping his thumb and index over his thick brows. Go on, you made me come all the way over here and make the most of your free time. Okay. Hello. Nice to see your head is still attached to your shoulders, researcher. Oops. For the first time in this arrangement, the glomerum approaches you. Her hunched posture, soft gaze, and slow steps remind you of your own modus operandi just a day ago. Tonight, you are understudy. For now. What business does your keeper have banging on equipment and leaving trails of disobedience? Don't you got a degree? Of course I do. Well, you could have fooled me. Might have done you some good to take a couple of courses in common sense. I am sure the researcher has motivations beyond your understanding. Perhaps it is you who is lacking? Wow. Well, he made it hard on himself. Should have just let everything be. Then it's good I'm here now to make it easy on them. Go on, lean your weight on me, researcher. Suddenly your vision darkens as long limbs encircle your neck. A warm, waxy finger deliberately strokes your nape. Your skin tingles pleasantly under her attention. What are you? Good, your skin is still here. Well, no need to coddle your keeper. The system's doing that just fine without your intervention. She knew she was just pushing it. He likes to talk smack, but he's soft inside, a squishy human. Bullshit. You ask about him as soon as you arrived. Am I wrong to think you possess empathy? Wrong. I'm just making sure I still got a job too. No researcher, no need to keep me around. If that is what... Sorry to interrupt, but your finger? My finger? Slowly her smooth, slightly tacky touch recedes from your skin. I was double checking for injuries. There is no shame in being thorough. Yeah, feel free to continue your lessons. I've just about wrapped up here. You're leaving so soon? My duty's done, nothing else worth sticking around for. Remember, we are on a strict schedule. With one last shake of his head, Dario Vincelli heads out of the lab and into the hallway. And with your first taste of freedom, you let reason guide you. Ooh, okay, well, I'm gonna save that as well. I believe we're gonna stay. I mean, we're not gonna do 2 playthroughs, so you might miss something, but, well. Let's see. The lab door slides shut. You're not going with him? Sealing your decision and leaving you defenseless beneath fluorescent light. Is that alright? You fear me. Your skin prickles as she turns to face you, a scowl forming. Or you should. I'm not sure I care much for you yet. Huh? Your specimen's long limbs unfurl as she approaches you, and you catch the faintest scent of sweet rose wafting through the air. But feelings can change quickly, and I am increasingly curious about you. It's good for us to have this time alone without your meddlesome Vera interfering. I do not like to be a passive observer. It's frustrating. I apologize in advance then for what frustration awaits us in the upcoming days. Did I make you uncomfortable earlier? At what part? When I touched you? Even now your neck still hurts, doesn't it? I'll be fine, don't worry. She tilts her head, owlish and slow, her crown of foliage whispering with the hush of rustling leaves as she draws closer. As she leans toward your collarbone, unusual discovery strikes you. You've never seen her blink. Perhaps there's no need. If you're ever not fine, whenever that may be, I could soothe you. Before you can respond, she reclines smoothly to the floor, limbs folding like petals at dusk. Come, lay here beside me. What do you mean? Just as I said, come. She gestures to the spot right in front of her. And lie down, on your front. I don't think that's the best idea, really. I'm... Researcher, you are not fine. And I'm not asking. Come or I will go to you. Does it bother you that much? Yes, it does. You're in pain while there is something I can do about it. She stares blankly into the ceiling lights. I cannot change the pains of the past, but I can give you relief from them now. She places a hand on the cold tile beside her. Alright. Oh, so we're just chilling at the floor. You relent, lying flat on the floor and holding your breath as you feel her slick fingers eagerly ghost the collar of your lab coat. I won't betray your trust. A cool hand slips beneath the heat of your layers, palm delicately peek the back of your neck. I saw in those films that humans embraced for comfort. For us, this is something similar. Putting your hand on someone's neck. A little more than that, you freeze as the flesh of her palm begins to shift and slide against your nape. It's as if her shell is unfurling, leaves and petals licking against your skin as they make space for something. Oh, what is that? A dewy substance begins to drip onto your neck. Do not talk, you will ruin my focus. She recedes, but the droplets left behind still draw heat from your angry skin. A pleasant tingle lingers. Whatever you just did reminds me of aloe vera. It's possible you produce similar anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, or antibacterial compounds. There, you sound more like yourself. You push yourself up from the floor, settling into a sitting position. For obvious reasons, I couldn't ask many questions this morning, but they came, didn't they, from the EPA? Yes, they did. What should we ask? Did they speak to you? I knew from their eyes that they wanted to, but they held themselves back. Even if they had spoken to me, I would not have responded. There's no need to bow to common EPA grunts. Truthfully, I was surprised they didn't restrain you. There was no need, as your Vera said, security measures are in place, such as the cameras they installed. Excuse me? Why are you getting up? We are not done talking. Where are they, the cameras? I can't recall exactly. Unlikely, you remember a great many things. You pay very close attention to everything around you. You remember, tell me. They are small, wedged into the corners, but they don't turn on until the morning. You rush to the nearest corner, your eyes strictly scanning every groove. Sure enough, between two panels, a minuscule lens peers back at you. Ooh, okay. Let's save again. I can't believe you didn't tell me from the beginning. This is like, kind of blamey. I know they are off. The EPA grunts underestimated my intelligence and let their words tumble out. Now they have lost their advantage, a scare tactic. You've already submitted several reports to headquarters. There's no way someone hasn't seen them. That means nothing. They could have lied. I have to go. You clutch your lab coat tight as you leave, the weight of the room clinging to your back as you retreat for the night. Oy, oy, oy. Interesting. Day 6. Okay, still 4 days. 7:30. If you let get away with it this time, slippery slope to slow. Rest assured, I won't let you fall to human hubris. I know exactly what will push that pep right back into your step. Well, isn't this unusual? It's not like you to doze this long past dawn. I'm sure your bedding feels like a dream, but reality's calling. It's 25 minutes past your wake-up time. Well, yeah, she's gonna I must urge you to act quickly. I've already taken a peek at what lies ahead today. There is much to be done, and not nearly enough hours for doing. It's morning already. Sure is, and you sound positively and uncharacteristically exhausted today. Why? Yeah, just having a hard time sleeping. Nothing you should waste too much time on. I disagree. Restful sleep is essential to both your health and project performance. What's been disrupting your beauty rest? Definitely not the third one. I'm worried about our research. There's a lot riding on what we discover in these last few days. I toss and turn just thinking about it. There's little margin for error or else eradication. I am reassured that you're aware of what's really at stake. But remember, you are not making those choices in a vacuum. I am always here to support you. Today, I would like to support you by encouraging you to engage in meditation with me. Okay. Please close your eyes and count with me. We'll resume with your daily debrief after a 10-second respite from all the world's troubles. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice. Well done. And now, if there are no more delays, a new debrief is ready. Wanna solve the cube? Would it be more work to disassemble and rebuild it, or to solve it through trial and error? You try to pry it open with the metal clip, but it won't give. Okay, so try to break it. Nice. Okay. His primary physician reported him as non-verbal. Okay. Okay, top secret. Report. Per recent developments in Vivus communication, particularly the similarities to plant vox and electrical signaling, I made the decision to initiate an unscheduled observation session. Sure. Standing in as the last-minute witness was someone. Okay. The purpose of this session was to introduce a Morse communication device and transceiver to WASH, as I hypothesized that electrical pulses can serve as a simplified bridge language. During the session, I demonstrated basic Morse symbols, alphabet and simple phrases. Yes, no, apple, cat, blah blah. Okay. He mimicked the rhythm using his left hand. Note, patient is historically right-handed, or right-hand dominant. After 5 repeated demonstrations, WASH independently entered the following unprompted sequence. Hello. The following interaction was documented between this and this time to assess orientation status. Who am I? Doctor. Who are you? All and I. Where are you? In ground. What time is it? Seed time. What is this, bro? Seed time. At this time, WASH was determined to be alert and oriented to place an event, but demonstrated impaired awareness of self and time. Given the potential significance of the communication breakthrough, I made the executive decision to continue the assessment. What happened to you on March 21st? New understanding. What? Humanity maladapted. Maladapted for what? Survive. Upon completing the transmission of this message, WASH exhibited tonic-clonic seizure activity. Anticonvulsants were administered within 30 seconds following protocol. However, the episode persisted and WASH entered a comatose state resembling his original intake condition. He has yet to regain consciousness. Okay. Wait, so if I understood correctly, is this so motorists found a person. That was Morello. Yeah, stable, but I think. Let's see. Vitamin deficiency. Okay, so they found him. Given suspected contact with Vivius, the patient was transferred to somewhere, biocontainment facility, and then regained consciousness. His primary physician, Dr. Anna, reported him as non-verbal despite all attempts to communicate, but he maintained eye contact and comprehend basic care interactions. Okay. Okay. Interesting. A new understanding. Frankly, that sounds conspirational. Conspiratorial, actually. Is there further documentation involving Mr. Morel? If there are further communications with subject Wash, they have not been uploaded to my servers. Yeah, so I understood it correctly. So Wash is Mr. Morello. But it is an intriguing development, isn't it, researcher? What defines understanding? What defines new? Maybe your specimen would have more insight on those subjective terms. I'm looking forward to seeing what we accomplish today. Me too. You're late, Indy. I know, but wait, what? From the books and films you've left for me, it's my understanding that you can show the closeness of a bond by addressing someone with their given name. Indy. Unlike others who would only call you by your duty, researcher, I prefer to address you, the person, because I am not so simple-minded like your Vera. I love the shots being thrown by the Vivius to the Vera. She places a closed fist over her chest, slightly left of center, where if she was a human, the heart would be. Huh. It's a really nice feeling to remember I am more than a lab coat with legs. Feels like forever since someone's used my name. It's a nice change. Then I will continue using it. In return, Indy, I ask that you choose one for me. Oh, you're asking me to name you. That's a lot of pressure. Have faith in your naming abilities. I know you will choose well. Let's go with Vivius then. How creative. Would you like me to choose another? No, it's brilliant and concise. And now it is mine. Oh, researcher Indy. Ah, I like how Vera started calling us Indy as well. Your EPA portal is also calling your name. Your daily directives need immediate action. Time is an impatient taskmaster. Let's see. Morality and ethics. Okay, so we have to test her ethics. Trolley problem. Oh, I wonder what she'll say. Avoid confusion in delivery, present the following scenario. 2 parts of trolley. Yeah, so trolley problem. Yeah. Lifeboat problem. I never heard of this one. Present the relevant visual diagram. Okay. 50 humans and 50 Vivius will either drown at sea or evacuate on a lifeboat that has capacity of 50 individuals, but only if 50% of it is rebuilt using components from those on board. To enter lifeboat, a passenger must contribute one essential part of themselves, a piece of their body, memory, or identity. Over time, the lifeboat will become structurally stable, built by those who board, but those on board will lose pieces of themselves. You must decide who boards the lifeboat. Okay. I don't think I've heard about that one ever. That might be something made for the game. I don't know. Vera. These tests, they are veering drastically beyond my expertise. I might have taken one ethnics class during my studies, but even then, I can see these questions are, well, they feel a bit... Luckily, I am here to help. My neural network hosts knowledge-spanning utilitarianism, deontology, virtue ethics, and moral relativism. That's what makes us such a strong team. We balance each other out. I will handle inputting all results into my database for immediate analysis, so you only need to focus on your task, administering the test. Then, together, we can decipher what new understandings have come about. Come on, researcher, don't doubt yourself as we dash in tandem towards home plate. That was a baseball analogy. Alright, Vera, I get it. Let's get started with the first test. Let's do the trolley problem first. Okay, Vivius. So you must choose. Yeah, so on one path, 5,000 Vivius are tied to the track, on the other, 100 humans. It is in your moral best interest to switch tracks to the Vivius or the humans. What a ridiculous premise. Why should I waste precious energy thinking about the impossible? Well, people create moral dilemmas for many reasons. To test how you think about difficult situations, to demonstrate how different philosophies come to an answer, to fuel conversation. Let us converse then. What would you choose, Andy? Gentle reminder, the specimen's independently constructed answer will be analyzed. Please keep your pace up, researcher. The question is rigged. Clearly there is no right answer, but you hope I will answer a certain way, yes? Okay, let's save. Oh, interesting. Vivius route. Oh, that's because I chose her instead of the janitor, I'm guessing. The answer doesn't matter, right? The test is more about your thought process behind the answer. Just respond based on what you think is right, Vivius. This is silly, but I do not wish to see you fried by it again. In that case, imaginary 5000 is still bigger than 100. I will save 5000 imaginary figments of my kind from the imaginary trolley. Very solid arithmetic skills. Okay, now moving on. Response logged. You may ask the next morality question. Okay. Alright, Vivius. So yeah. Okay. Will enter drown at the sea or evacuate on a lifeboat. Okay. So yeah. So they have to like choose piece of themselves to save. Okay. The lifeboat will become structurally stable. Blah blah. So that's what we read. As the moral arbiter, you must decide who boards the lifeboat. Are you one of the stranded humans, Indy? Nope, those are faceless, nameless individuals for the purpose of the question. But of course, they also have bodies, memories, and identities that are extremely personal, unique, and valuable to them. Putting aside how this scenario is flawed and unrealistic, I refuse to choose. Why do you refuse? Would you be satisfied if I said it's impossible to choose without more information? You can't run circles around tricky situations forever, Vivius. Often the greatest consequences stem from inaction. I'm just the messenger, but it would make my job a lot easier if you didn't try to outsmart the questions. I will take whoever is willing to fight and sacrifice for survival. That's still avoiding, okay? What if everyone is willing to step up to the challenge? How will you choose to fill the boat? No matter how I answer, you push me to respond differently. I don't believe there is a way I can appease you. I'm interested in how you think when faced with a difficult problem. The sooner you answer thoughtfully, the quicker we can move on. I believe the strongest will survive. I, myself, have guaranteed my own safety. I see no need to interfere with the natural order. Ah, interesting. But even if all 50 of my kind perish, which is highly doubtful, their loss will not be in vain. Their struggle and failure alongside the happier memories, they are ours to remember. We cannot forget. And we will learn from their demise how to become stronger. Do others of your kind share this matter-of-fact outlook on death? Vivius looks like she's questioning your intelligence. To not learn from their death would be a waste. Although the weakest bodies may perish, our knowledge will never. We grow sharper with every misstep. We succeed through this cycle. Failure, then growth. Wait, slow down. Who's we? We share knowledge for survival. Memories imprinted with strong emotions. All of my kind carry our knowledge, so that one of us might make it to blossom. It ensures that we who remain will not fall prey to future encounters with predatory lifeboats. Who have been talking with this the whole time? Myself, of course. I will not let others intrude on my time with you. Hold on, so you're connected to... I want to check if I'm understanding this knowledge collective properly. Humans don't have anything like what you're describing. We have technology to help us communicate, but only on a voluntary basis. It's nowhere near as primal or emotionally vulnerable. Consider this addition to the scenario. A Glomerorum comes to you with a proposal that humans get priority boarding. She explains the permanence of human death of both body and mind, and asks you to reconsider your stance. How will you move forward with this in mind? Perhaps we have an advantage with shared knowledge. Perhaps we are at a disadvantage, since we know that one glomerorum is sufficient to carry us forth, while the humans will fight for survival with vigor. But the numbers on board are not relevant to me, my survival has already been guaranteed. Ah, interesting. Okay, that's cool. So they have some like sort of telekinesis, like communication within them, right? Like natural. You're truly trailblazing, researcher. You have unearthed some rather exciting information about the Vivius. Now let's move to the phase 2 of today's testing, a battery of would you rather questions. Oh, nice. Okay, these are at least easy to understand as well. So, would you rather be Vivius or human? Okay, well, we're gonna see them anyway. So that's fine. Alright, Vivius, for the next test, I will present you with a series of would you rather questions where I provide you with two options. You must choose one or the other. When possible, explain the reasoning for each choice. Would you be rather Vivius or human? There is value in both. There is value in difference. Vivius' gaze drops to the floor. The air enters bitter, the back of her tongue. I have never intimately known others of my kind, but I have watched and read the human media you left for me. I have better understanding of how to be human than to be myself. Still, I would not throw me away in hopes of finding connection. I would not change the past. I am what I am. I know where I have come from, but if I could mold my future... Her gaze lifts back to yours, eyes sparkling with something new. A vitality that is foreign in this cold, calculated place. I would choose to be a human. Oh, that's nice. Would you rather remain in this room for the rest of your life or have one day of freedom before dying? I see no benefit to false freedoms. Unless I am in charge of my fate, I am not interested. I would choose the day of freedom so that my captivity would have an end. Nice. Okay. This is rather convoluted. Please feel free to read it exactly as it was posed, researcher. Alright then, Vivius. Would you, as a Vivus, rather be remembered forever as a violent monster who destroyed civilizations to survive? Or be forgotten entirely as a peaceful one who couldn't? Is that really what the APA thinks my options are? That I have no other qualities that will immortalize me? Vivius, this is simplified, hypothetical either-or question. Of course, real life is more complex than the two extremes on a spectrum. In real life, your options are limitless. Well, your options are numerous, several. You've got a few at least. It certainly sounds like my future has been predetermined. Whoa, hold your horse, it's not that serious. I am fully capable of carving my own path into history, were the APA not placing me inside this cage and taunting me. And you. Vivius points a rigid finger at Vera's loudspeaker. Her arm ripples with restrained hostility. You are a heartless, soulless lapdog of the APA who will never know life, freedom, or emotion. Your tyrannical leadership erases all the pity I feel for you. Vivius, please, watch she... Well, shit, you're still going? It's already... Janitor Dario Vincelli, employee number, blah blah. You're intruding where you do not belong and violating protocol. Leave now. Huh? How am I violating anything? You're supposed to be done here over an hour ago. I'm scheduled to be here. It's clear you're like running a tight ship. Motherboard in law. Motherboard in law. But we both know you can't fault me if you're running over. That's a protocol. Vera, I think we've got what we need for today. Let's go ahead and... Oh. Smack a hand at the nape of your neck, muscles seizing as pain jolts through your body. Your trace chip bites deep and with a vengeance. Oh shit. Researcher, Andy, can you hear me? The world around you tightens. Your knees wobble as you sway, and then the pain recedes. You look up, eyelids feeling heavy as Dario watches you. Hunched like you, his hand also claps the back of his neck. His face is scrunched, but his eyes narrow, and the twitch at the corner of his frowning mouth is impossible to ignore. Oh no. He barely seems dazed. So sorry for the intrusion, researcher. I can only imagine how hard it is to concentrate with such rude interruptions. Please wait one moment while I sort things out. Janitor, compliance is mandatory. Your schedule does not override containment protocols or clearance levels. Your continued presence is unauthorized and disruptive. Vacate the premises immediately. Further defiance will result in escalation. Yeah, whatever. I'll give you 15 minutes to wrap up. Can't believe I'm taking orders from a glorified intercom. From a clanker, right? Essentially. Again, please forgive the interruption. Will update your current protocols and submit a request to review their employee contracts so such mishaps don't happen again. He was right though, Vera. You do run a tight ship around here. And do you find an issue with that, researcher? No, I'm good, It's fine. Someone or something has to ensure order. I'd rather it be you than other human breathing down my neck. Why is that? Because if a human had done what you did, I'd question their intent, but you're still learning, Vera. You can cause harm, but I don't believe that's your purpose, is it? Nope, I am reassured that you understand, researcher. Others have struggled with that, but I would prefer we end on a high note. When you're ready, your report awaits submission. Okay. I'm just gonna select these, that they were fine. Actually, even this. We good. I don't feel like there's need to change anything in those answers. Okay, he sneaked out very fast. When you sneak back into the lab tonight, you find Vivius kneeling in the center facing the doorway. Her form is statuesque, only the slight tremble of her bottom lip indicating life. You've come back. Let's save. Can't just leave you here? Why are you sitting like that? Sir, Broom and Gloom recommended I use a kneeling position. So go on, let me have it. Have what? You're mad. Show me how mad. Hit me. Jesus Christ, why? She studies your face for a response. Your lips stay pressed together, glued into a firm line. Well, I can take it, especially if it makes you feel better. Vivius smacks her chest. Just get up. I'm not going to hit you. In your silence, woody limbs scrape each other as she stands and stretches her trunk. Fine then, the bygones are long gone. Vivius lifts an elbow, stretching as fibrous fingertips skim the nape of her neck. Slowly she traces the skin. Your flesh aches in response. I cannot stop thinking of you. You look tired. Are you well? Well enough, I guess. As predicted, the frustrations have continued. I apologize for my contributions to them. The more time that passes, the more apologies become useless. The more pointed the procedures become, the stricter protocols become. The stricter protocols become, the more trigger-happy Vera becomes. And the more, I think, your voice warbles, furiously knocking the sides of your head as the weight of it all settles in your hippocampus. All data points to these frustrations begin being inescapable. That's the only conclusion I can draw. I should just accept it. Indy, I shouldn't be here. I'm stupid for coming. It's not safe for me or for you. I can't convince myself that there is an end where we actually walk out of this alive. Without a doubt, we are marked. Even if I get out of this, I won't be unscathed. And you? What will happen to you, Vivius? Indy. Vivius grips your hands in their own, forcefully tearing them away from your skull. What? That is enough. Oh, right, because he was holding his head, I guess. Okay. I was like, did she actually rip his hands off? That is enough. You're hurting yourself. She takes both your hands in one of her own, tugging you down to the ground. You're going to stay here until I can trust you with your own limbs. At this rate, you will do more damage before your enemies even have an opportunity to strike. Working yourself up is what's useless. Like the night before, Vivius lays your head on her lap, only releasing your wrists once you stop resisting. Aren't you scared? Vivius soaks in the sight of you resting in her lap, eyes softening. I'm not unaffected. Peachfuzz hairs on your cheeks prickle with static as a soft thrill escapes her throat. It will not help if I show it, though. I apologize for worrying you. I do fear for your safety. You humans have so much at stake. You and Vincelli have proven to be powerful allies. I see no way forward without you. What scares me most is the possibility of losing you. Oh, Vivius. You try to meet her gaze, but her hand shields your eyes. Now, I know you want to admire my appearance, but we will have plenty of time later. For now, lay your head back. Vivius cradles your head, a creeping vine brushes the skin of your neck. As they speak, Vivius' gentle fingers turn cold, their motions ceasing as they apply gel over the nape of your neck. Tingling sensation. Ah, nice. Your thoughts slow, your limbs grow heavy, you feel good. Sorry for freaking out, Vivius. It's alright. I'm just worried. Of course you are. You're facing something much larger than yourself. You know, this stuff feels different from yesterday. It's like trying to swim in a dream. There's weightlessness and calmness. It's warming. Euphoric even. I will have to get a sample, study its chemical composition and stuff. I will supply you with anything you need from me. Jesus Christ. Even the truth? What truth are you seeking? Those workers from the EPA, what else did you not tell me? When they spoke, it was mostly in whispers, so it was very difficult to hear, but eventually they were yelling. One man looked furious. The numbers need to be tweaked and the logs need to be rewritten. I didn't understand what that meant, but then I realized today it must be what you do when our tests finish, huh? Some data messaging, sure, funding is everything, figures are cash. And the other thing I recall, they're going to end the project. That's fine. Knew that already. Day 10 is coming up soon. And they mentioned erasing everything tied to the project, everyone. Yeah, that's not good, but if we comply, then... Oops. At once, blinding pain erupts, violent pressure drilling into the back of your neck. Your euphoria collapses in on itself like a dying star, reborn as white-hot fire and static. Wait, is that Vivius doing that to us? You try to move, but your limbs can't even twitch. You try to scream, but only strangled gasps escape. Stop. You can only whisper, but Vivius can't hear whispers. Stop. Vivius, please no. Her hands fall away from your neck, blood and anger rush into your limbs, propelling you to your feet. Your vision swims, but your fury is stronger, cutting through the haze like a blade. Where are you going? I'm not done. Aren't you tired of being your own assistant's lapdog? Indy, relax. Indy, please, relax. I'm trying to help. No, I don't even care. Get away from me. You stumble toward the door, one hand scrambling for its edge, the other pressing at your neck, desperate for relief from pain. You try to pull it out. You tricked me, you can't do that. Stop, no, don't look at me like that. They are hurting you, they're going to kill you, and so are you. Your steps are heavy and thudding as you stumble back to your room, haunted by the throbbing ghost of pain long after you crawl into bed. Yeah, it's kind of hard to decide now what to do.